What we are seeing right now is absolute madness. The beautiful game has officially devolved into a war zone, and FIFA has finally decided to drop the hammer. For months, fans and pundits have debated whether the chaotic scenes we witnessed would simply be swept under the rug. But the ruling body has finally made its move. They have formally charged several key members of the Argentina national team for their explosive, highly controversial actions both on the pitch and in the tunnels. The hammer of justice is coming down hard, and the sheer scale of the bans and financial penalties being drawn up is sending shockwaves through the football world. But Argentina is not the only side facing the wrath of the disciplinary committee. We need to dissect every single charge, look at exactly what these players are accused of, and break down the massive suspensions they are now staring down. Before we dive deep into the legal war brewing at FIFA headquarters, do me a massive favor. If you want to stay completely up to date with the latest football drama, tactical breakdowns, and breaking news, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. Your support keeps this channel running, and you definitely do not want to miss the massive updates coming down the pipeline. Also, let me know in the comments section where you are watching from. I love seeing how far our football community reaches across the globe, so drop your city or country below. Now let us get into the absolute chaos. To understand how we got here, we have to look back at the absolute powder keg that exploded the moment the final whistle blew. What should have been a celebration of elite football instantly transformed into an all-out street fight. We saw Nahuel Molina squaring up and getting physical with Rodri, Leandro Paredes aggressively striking Eric Garcia in the throat area before violently throwing Gavi to the turf, and even members of the coaching staff losing their minds. Argentina's assistant coach Roberto Ayala was caught on camera throwing a punch at Dani Olmo as both benches cleared and stadium security struggled to regain control. FIFA immediately launched an exhaustive investigation, assigning an independent prosecutor to review every broadcast angle, stadium security feed, and the official referee reports. The findings are in, and the charge sheets are incredibly damning. Let us start with Leandro Paredes, who is currently facing the absolute worst of it. FIFA did not just hand him a single generic charge for participating in a melee. Instead, they hit him with 3 separate individually numbered counts of physical assault. They are treating the throat strike on Eric Garcia and the physical takedown of Gavi as completely separate violent acts. Under the strict guidelines of the FIFA Disciplinary Code, a single charge of assault carries a mandatory minimum suspension of 3 matches. Because Paredes is facing 3 distinct counts, he is looking at a minimum 9-match ban. For a crucial midfielder, missing 9 competitive international fixtures is a catastrophic blow that could rule him out of almost an entire tournament cycle. Next up is Nahuel Molina, whose legal situation is highly complex because he is being prosecuted under 2 entirely different sections of the Disciplinary Code. Molina is facing 2 separate counts of assault for his physical altercation with Rodri, specifically for an initial strike to the midsection as he ran past him, followed by squaring up and aggressively bumping him chest to chest. On top of those 2 assault charges, FIFA has tacked on a 3rd charge for unsporting behavior. While unsporting conduct only carries a minimum 1-match ban, the 2 assault counts carry a combined minimum of 6 matches. This means Molina is facing at least a 7-game suspension before the committee even considers any aggravating factors. But perhaps the most embarrassing charge for the Argentine Football Association involves assistant coach Roberto Ayala. When a player loses their cool in the heat of a high-stakes final, it is seen as a failure of discipline. But when a senior member of the technical staff, a man responsible for keeping the peace, is formally charged with assault for punching an opposing player like Dani Olmo, it enters a completely different stratosphere of trouble. Ayala is facing a single charge of assault, which might sound light compared to the players, but FIFA historically treats physical violence from staff members with extreme severity. Ayala is not just looking at a standard touchline ban. There is a very real possibility he will be barred from entering any stadium hosting a FIFA-sanctioned match for a significant period. The drama takes an even stranger turn when you look at the other names on the charge sheet. Thiago Almada has been hit with an unsporting conduct charge, which carries a 1-match ban. But in a move that has outraged many fans, Spain's Gavi has also been formally charged with unsporting conduct. It seems completely surreal that Gavi, who is essentially the victim of a physical tackle on the pitch, is also facing a suspension. But FIFA's prosecutors are arguing that his retaliatory language and actions contributed directly to escalating the brawl. It is a highly controversial move that proves FIFA is determined to show they are being completely impartial, even if it looks incredibly harsh on the Spanish midfielder. This massive crackdown fits perfectly into a larger, highly worrying trend we are seeing in recent matches. International football is becoming an absolute pressure cooker, and player behavior is spiraling out of control. Just look at the chaotic scenes during the recent Copa America matches where players ended up clashing with fans in the stands, or the incredibly hostile World Cup qualifiers in South America, particularly the super clash between Brazil and Argentina at the Maracanã, where massive crowd disturbances actually forced the players to walk off the pitch. There is a growing sense of lawlessness on the international stage, and this massive list of charges is FIFA's way of drawing a hard line in the sand. They want to send a clear message to every federation that this win-at-all-costs, highly aggressive attitude will no longer be tolerated. The consequences for Argentina go far beyond individual player suspensions. FIFA has also opened extensive disciplinary proceedings against the Argentine Football Association itself. The federation is being held liable for discriminatory and offensive chants sung by their supporters, as well as several dangerous incidents where fans threw objects onto the pitch during multiple matches. When you combine these fan-related charges with the highly sensitive ongoing investigation into the political Falklands banner displayed during their match against England, the AFA is facing one of the most comprehensive disciplinary cases in modern football history. They are looking at massive financial penalties, formal reprimands, and the very real threat of having to play future home qualifiers behind closed doors in empty stadiums. FIFA has proven in the past that they have the stomach for career-altering punishments. We all remember Luis Suarez receiving a massive 4-month ban from all football activities for his bite, and Luis Rubiales being handed a 3-year ban. If the disciplinary committee decides to make an example of Argentina to curb this global trend of post-match violence, the final sanctions could be historically severe. Both federations now have a brief window to present their defense and submit mitigating evidence before the final verdicts are officially handed down. But the writing is on the wall. The era of players getting away with post-match brawls under the guise of passion is officially over. What do you think? Are these massive suspensions fair, or is FIFA being incredibly over the top, especially with the charge against Gavi? Make sure to leave your thoughts in the comments below. Hit that subscribe button to keep up with this rapidly developing story, and I will see you in the next one.